Mallie and the Trow. Mallie was a widow who lived with her 3 sons. They were all big, healthy young men, and their mother found it very hard to feed them. They were very poor. Money was in short supply since the man of the house was lost at sea. At the start of every winter, they had a few potatoes, a small barrel of salted herrings, and above all, 140 pounds of oatmeal. As the boys got bigger, Mallie found it harder and harder to make the scanty supply of food last all winter. There came the time. The winter still had a distance to go. When the last of the herrings was taken from the barrel and the last of the meal was taken from the grinder. As they ate the frugal meal, Mallie explained that they had no more food left, and the hungry days lay ahead. The following day, the boys were all as hungry as ever, and there was no food. "What are we going to do?" asked the oldest son. "We shall have to become beggars. There is nothing else for it," he told the old woman who lived close by, always seemed to have plenty of food. So the same boy volunteered to go and ask her. He knocked on her door, and she came and answered it. "All of our food has been eaten. We are going hungry. Please, can you give us something to eat?" He could see into the kitchen of her house. He could see that the cupboard door was open and that the shelves were laden with food. There was bread, cheese, cooked meat, oatmeal, flour, tea, coffee, and a jar of preservatives and jam. The cupboard was filled and almost overflowing. The old woman gave the boy with an eerie look. "Go away! How dare you come to my door begging? I have nothing to give you, and do not come back, or I will be worse to you." He came back to his home, to his mother, and to his brothers, crying. He was a big boy, and crying was for babies, but he was so hungry he could not understand how that woman could have so much and give so little. "Some folks are just like that, son," his mother said. "Be pleased that you are different." Late in the afternoon, a knocking came to the door, and there, standing on the doorstep, was a little old man with grey hair and twinkling blue eyes, but dressed in rags. "Can you give me something to eat?" he asked. "I have been on the road for 2 days without food at all." Mallie explained to him that there was no food either in their house, but he is welcome to come in and warm himself by the fire. The old man thanked her and came into the kitchen. After he had settled down and was speaking to the boys, Mallie went to the herring barrel. There was no herring in it. She knew that, but there was some brine. She went to the meal grinder and used a small brush made from grass that grew near her shore. She swept the corners of the box, the lid and the bottom. Mallie was surprised at how much she got from the grinder. She took it and mixed it with the brine. It was enough that everyone got a small amount in a cup, but Mallie had hardly any for herself. The old man sat by the fire and asked if he could stay with them overnight. "We have no bed for you, but you are welcome to stay by the fire. We have plenty of peats, so that at least you can stay warm," Mallie replied. The following morning, one of the boys went to the well to fetch a bucket of water, and each of them had a drink. The old man took his departure, and he thanked the family for their hospitality. They all said goodbye, and the old man walked away. The boys had gone back indoors, and Mallie was about to turn in and shut the door when the man turned back and spoke again. That meal and brine we had last night, was that really the last of your food? He asked. Mallie told him that it was the last of their food and she had no idea what they would do from now on. The old man considered for a time and then said, "It is a very special person who will share the very last of what they have." With that, he turned and walked away. Inside, there was a gloom setting over the house. Mallie hated to see the boys hungry, and they were trying very hard not to complain. The fire burned down low, and one of the boys went to stack the basket full of peats. At last, they could be warm. When he came back, Mallie stoked up the fire. The peats were quite big, and Mallie broke one or two. Something fell into the peat and tinkled on the floor. When Mallie picked it up, she saw it was a gold coin. She broke another peat, and out came another gold coin. Every peat provided a gold coin inside, and Mallie knew that the old man that visited was a Trow, and this was his way of saying thanks. There was no more hunger for Mallie and the boys. They could buy anything they wanted. This did not go unnoticed. The old woman who refused to help them was curious to know where Mallie's money came from. She spied on the family and saw Mallie breaking peats and picking up gold coins. The woman waited until after dark and stole peats from Mallie's peat stack. She was not content with a basketful, so she took several and brought them into her kitchen. However, when she broke a peat, no coin appeared. Instead, a mouse dropped to the floor and scuttled away, looking for a place to hide. She broke open another and another as she looked in vain for gold coins, but all she got was more and more mice. The mice multiplied like mad, and soon the house was overrun with them. They got into her larder and devoured every morsel of food that she had. In no time, she had nothing to eat. The mice had consumed everything. She endured 2 days of hunger and misery before she was reduced to begging. She knew that Mallie now had plenty, so she came to Mallie's door and was greeted by the same boy that she had turned away from her own door. The old woman had told him that mice had overrun her home. She had no food, and she was very hungry, and could they please give her something? "I will give you exactly the same as you gave me when we had nothing," he told her, and slammed the door in her face. Mallie asked him who it was. "It had been that old woman from next door," he said. "She had the cheek to ask us for food, and I have not forgotten how she treated us when I asked her for food." "Have you forgotten what I told you?" Mallie asked him. "I told you that we were not like her." She opened the door and called the old woman back. "Come in," she said. "Come in and sit by the fire, and you can share the food that I am cooking. As long as we have any food, you shall never go hungry."